GHD has over 6,500 employees across 5 continents: Asia, Australia, Europe, North America, and South America. It was established in 1928, where a group of people with brilliant ideas have the same goal to motivate and inspire people. GHD has been awarded for their achievement over the past 5 years. The company has more than 90% customer satisfaction due to their integrity management system and employee engagement. Today, we are going to take you deeper into GHD, especially Australia. We will discuss whether GHD has a sustainable source of competitive advantage, principal economics, industry characteristics, SWOT analysis of the company, and their international strategy. GHD does not necessarily have a sustainable source of competitive advantage. Competitive advantage occurs when a firm implements a strategy that creates superior value for customers and competitors are unable to duplicate or find it too costly. Core competencies are capabilities that serve as a potential source of competitive advantage. Employee engagement has and will be GHD's core competency, providing a source of competitive advantage, featuring programs such as Innovation Zone, Peer Assist Program, and Business School. Employees then stay motivated and loyal.
Platform for brainstorming new ideas. Employees give input in improving internal process or commercial opportunities. Respect is key, and if ever an idea is rejected, feedback is given truthfully. Innovation champions are located center-wide. They give support and encourage employees in participating in the innovation zone. Employees in return feel valuable and will do their best for the firm. Secondly, employees nearing the end of their career can be part of the Peer Assist program. This program aims to guide employees on projects. GHD motivates these employees by reducing work hours or option of longer annual leave. GHD capability in having a high 88% retention rate of employees. In any consulting firm, the employees are what brings the company business. GHD has created 3 programs so that their employees will grow in value. If the employee leaves, it's the company that loses. Commitment in employees' well-being. The main goal of a firm is to make profit. Research says resource development affects economic profit. The programs that GHD has implemented helps growth in profits and well-being. Other firms might attempt to copy these programs.
Although the experience, knowledge, and benefits of these programs are non-substitutable, they are also inimitable. However, the structure and program itself is possible to be duplicated. The answer is yes and no. GHD definitely has a competitive advantage. However, with the structure of programs being able to be duplicated, it is unclear whether GHD does indeed have a sustainable competitive advantage. Now that we covered the important internal aspects of GHD, it is time to take our focus outwardly and explore the economic environment and industry in which it operates. Given that the organization thrives in various markets, it is best to execute an analysis that looks at the broader industry, then narrow it down to relevant sub-industries. With that said, GHD resides in the professional services in Australia industry, with operations in environmental science services, architectural services, and engineering consulting subdivisions. The economic segment is but one of 7 segments of the general environment, which consist of dimensions of broader society that impacts an industry. The relevant economic elements that affect GHD includes the low market share concentration due to the lack of major players in the industry, high specialization, and low entry barriers. More on that later. Despite the forecasted increase in revenue for the industry value added, GDP, in terms of the industry, is growing at a lower rate than the GDP, meaning it isn't keeping up with the growth of the economy. Finally, due to the nature of the industry, there is a mixed market growth through the engineering consulting industry, which appears to show promising growth. To give a generalized snapshot of the industry and its evolution, we will use the industry life cycle tool. A comprehensive report by IB Swirl proposed that it is at the mature stage. Key features that substantiate this is the high market saturation, which is evident in the array of service distribution. There is also an acceptance of established product and brand. A key success factor of GHD is its global brand, which effectively helps the organization gain market prevalence to thrive in saturated sectors. Perhaps the most profound characteristic is the slow growth rate, which as the chairman of GHD identifies as a contributor to business landscape to be challenging for many clients. This essentially correlates to intense competition as competitors fight to earn clients. We will explore this further with Porter's 5 model, which specifically looks at the degree of competitiveness in an industry.
The first force is the threat of new entrants, which, as the name suggests, is the risk and impact a new competitor can cause when entering an industry. To mitigate the risk of new entrants, organizations within the industry can create and sustain entry barriers. The higher the barrier, the more discouraged potential competitors become. A prominent barrier is service differentiation, which is closely related to brand loyalty. As a result, entrants will find themselves competing on the basis of low cost as opposed to quality and reputation. Additionally, human capital requirements such as specialized knowledge and high skill may discourage many looking to enter the industry. The professional services in Australia industry, however, is a very fragmented one, granting new entrants the luxury of choosing a particular subdivision to compete in. The second force is the bargaining power of suppliers, organizations that provide input into the industry. For a service industry, inputs may involve provisions of contracted services and labour. GHD, however, prides itself in the talent pipelines as evident of their PSS program and business school, effectively eliminating the need to contract recruiters or rely on a remote external source of talent. This diminishes the bargaining power of suppliers severely. Firms looking to recruit the best talent, however, may resort to rely upon these external recruiters for a greater pool of highly skilled knowledge workers, giving suppliers more bargaining power. The third factor of the model is bargaining power of buyers, or in this case, clients. Clients are most powerful if they can force down prices, demand better quality or more service. Buyer power is especially high for this industry as product and services are standardized, switching costs are relatively low, and they purchase most, if not all, of the seller's revenues. No client's projects means no revenue. Firms can mitigate buyers' influence by building brand loyalty and maintain positive client relations through employee competence to discourage them from seeking another firm. The next force is the threat of substitute products or services that fulfill the same customer need offered by an outside industry. The professional service in the Australian industry need not to fret about this force, as there is arguably no substitute for consultancy service. However, taking a critical perspective, knowledge, skill, and insight is a major determinant factor for the purchase of the firm's service. Therefore, a substitute can be training and development programs which can expel the need to hire external consultancy, as their internal workforce is qualified and proficient. Though the degree of complexity, especially of engineering consultation, impedes this unlikely accomplishment. The final force is the intensity of the rivalry among existing competitors, which can be interpreted as the overall result of the aforementioned forces. High rivalry limits the profitability of an industry. This is determined by two factors: the intensity of competition and the basis on which competitors compete. For our industry analysis, we can infer that there is a high competition amongst the established firms. The evident factors that increase this intensity are numerous competitors, slow industry growth, and lack of differentiation. GHD, despite its many achievements and rewards in service excellence and employee satisfaction, is overshadowed by large consultancy firms such as Aircom, Hawley Parsons, Stantec, and Atkin. Competition is especially fierce when it comes to engineering consultancy. Now armed with insights on both GHD's internal and external industry environment, we can perform a SWOT analysis and identify capabilities that exploit opportunities and mitigate threats.
The next we would like to mention is SWOT Analyze on GHD. SWOT Analyze has been used as an instrumental tool for analyzing internal and external environments in order to attain a systematic understanding of a strategic management situation. And the SWOT Analyze can uncover many aspects. It can manage the risk of the company and also plan for the future. A SWOT Analyze contains 4 parts, both internally and externally: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths is defined as internal positive characteristics that the organization can exploit to achieve this goal. Firstly, GHD is well connected. It provides engineering, architecture, environmental, and construction service to private and public sector clients. From IBIS World Graph presented upwards, we know that 34.2% of the company's revenue came from engineering consulting services, which is also the biggest part of the revenue. Under different construction departments, the company uses division of labors to set up a construction system. This provides GHD a long-lasting business. Secondly, GHD has highly skilled staff. The company takes teamwork, respect, and integrity as its core value. This enables the company to attract and retain high-caliber people and ensure they deliver a memorable client experience. And we have already mentioned this on the previous part in GHD's core competences. And the next is weaknesses. Weaknesses are outlined as internal characteristics that may inhibit the organization from achieving its goal. During this part, what we're going to talk about is one of the general problems faced by the whole industry and slow rate of returning funds. Except consulting services, almost all the other services provided by GHD are long-term operations and will cost a lot during the research and development period. It can be quite hard to recover the financial statement if the party A refuses to pay for the balance. The O in SWOT Analyze represents opportunities. It is described as the characteristics of the external environment that have the potential to help the organization to achieve or exceed its strategic goals. Australian government's contribution under infrastructure investment program is a big opportunity for the company. The government estimated a budget of more than $15 million for the year 2006 to 2017 in Infrastructure Australian Resource Statement. The government holds the opinion that this significant investment is a crucial part of the government's economic action strategy to boost economic growth and prosperity, increase productivity, and support thousands of new jobs. So right now, it is an excellent opportunity for business to develop. Lastly, we will talk about T. Stress refers to the characteristics of the external environment that may prevent the organization from achieving its strategic goals. An increasing in market saturation is one of the risks faced by GHD. Since the company has a lot of services focused on traditional construction industry, this market is quite old and is already well developed. It can be really hard to compete with all these competitors. Under the huge competitive pressures, it is difficult for the company to maintain a long-term expansion or long-lasting profit growth. Moreover, the drastic change related to raw material prices is another threat needs the company to cover. Oil and coking coal, two of the most important raw materials for the company production, are under intensive market prices change due to global economic and political changes. We can see from the graph that both prices fluctuated strongly but kept increasing in the total trends. Since the price of the raw materials is increased and overall quite unstable, it can be risky for the company to manage its financial statement, and the cost of construction are actually grown up. That means the gross profit of the company may be decreased since the increasing cost of production. However, there will always be risks and opportunities. The only thing GHD can do is to keep its strengths, hold the opportunities, recover the weaknesses, and mitigate the threats. Based on the SWOT analysis on GHD, we can see that the external environment takes strong responsibility to the company development. So we have to take some time to find out GHD's international strategies and how it plans to deal with the international markets.
To form an international strategy is an important factor in order for the firms to be successful in the foreign market. Before answering this question, I am going to explain a few important aspects about international strategies, such as how the companies form its strategies when they expand into foreign markets. Firstly, international strategy is a form of strategy which firms are selling their own products or the services to the foreign markets. During the process of forming it, firms' international strategy can be characterized based on two dimensions, which are need for global integration and need for local responsiveness, as mentioned in the diagram shown. In other words, firm's international strategy will categorize based on whether the firm has the higher emphasis of local or global response. According to the diagram, GHD will be categorized under global strategy due to several factors. The characteristics of the global strategy are following. The first one is the headquarters of the office has the main control in terms on the decision-making process, which is the centralized process. The second one is the same basic competitive approach, which offers the standardized products and services across all the markets. The third concept is the think global and act global approach. As an example of the first characteristic, GHD has 200 plus offices across the world. As mentioned in the annual report, they are connected with one global network, meaning that the global network of GHD is controlled by their headquarters office, which is located in Sydney. This system can be described as centralized process because in terms of the decision-making process, the home office has the authority to conduct the final decision-making. Furthermore, for the second characteristic, according to their annual report, no matter they locate at different offices at different countries, their main objective still remains, which are delivering exceptional services and safety in regards to their 5 markets. In order to achieve the global strategy, it is important for the firms to consider how to enter into the foreign market. This means that the firms need to know the current situation of the specific market which they are willing to enter. For the GHD's perspective, they have used the merging with the local companies as one of the ways to enter into the foreign market with less risks. In 2014, GHD has merged with the consultancy company called Conestoga Rovers and Association, which is located in North America and has more than 100 offices in USA, Canada, and UK, as well as delivered successful outcomes for their clients in over 60 countries as part of GHD's expansion into the North American market.